just finished up on Sunday. I felt kind of silly. I've been waiting around all day, like, okay, we have to wait for the Monday game to be over. And then at a certain point, I was like, wait a minute. There is no Monday game anymore. So that was a bit silly of me. But, no spreadsheet or anything for this again. Just like last week, there was only 4 games. You guys know my predictions. I predicted Chiefs, Eagles, Bengals, Cowboys. First up, we're going to start with the Jaguars Chiefs game. I predicted the Chiefs to win this. They were a 9.5-point favorite. They end up winning by 7, 27-20. But something happened this game that is definitely going to impact my predictions for next week. And that was Patrick Mahomes gets a pretty nasty leg injury. High ankle sprain, but if you're a sports fan, you know that those high ankle sprains can look a lot more like a break. And he was out of the game for a short little while in the second, but he ended up coming back in and playing. Although he was visually hobbled, you could tell that he was hobbled a bit. So that, I think this game he was definitely running on adrenaline, right? But after this game is over and that gets out of his system, especially going into next week, he's really going to be feeling that. And I think that even if he plays next week, I don't know how good he'll be able to be playing on one leg. He's still Mahomes, but if you're a Jags fan, you have to be happy about this game, even though you lost. With how your season started, that turnaround that you had, and the Jaguars looked like they belonged in this game from beginning to end. They never looked completely outclassed, They were pretty much neck and neck there with the Chiefs the whole game. I thought that they looked better on the run than the Chiefs did, even though the teams had the exact same number of rushing yards. It just looked a little bit easier for Jacksonville, specifically Travis Etienne. He had a monster game, 10 carries for 62 yards and a touchdown. He just kept breaking off these big runs. So that was good to see. As somebody who likes the underdogs, the Jaguars, they looked like they deserved to be here. Lawrence got his turnovers in control from last week. He had those 4. He had only 1 interception this week, so that's nice to see. But man, Mahomes, he saw his passes. The crazy thing about watching Mahomes pass the ball, and this isn't something that every quarterback really does. Even some of the all-time great quarterbacks don't do this like Mahomes does. He will adjust his throwing mechanics to beat the play, to beat the defense. So he has his standard pass, but he's a few sidearm passes. He'll throw a sidearm pass, and just the different mechanics that he'll use to get his pass off. It's not the same mechanic every time. Some quarterbacks are really good because they have their mechanics dialed in. They throw the same way. They have perfect throwing motion, all that stuff. And Mahomes, the dynamic way he's able to change up his throwing motion it's very interesting to watch, very exciting. But yeah, Chiefs win this one 27-20 to take out the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence goes 24 for 39, 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Patrick Mahomes goes 22 for 30, 195 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. But honestly, in my opinion, the hero of this game for the Chiefs is Chad Henne. Chad Henne came in after Mahomes, he went down, he gets to the sideline, he goes back to the locker room. Chad Henne, the backup, he comes in and he makes a huge drive. He looks a little bit shaky at points, but he makes a huge drive, gets it down, and gets the touchdown. And I feel like if Chad Henne did not make that drive, the Chiefs would have lost this game. He maintained that momentum. Because after Mahomes went down, you were noticing that momentum shift. It felt like the game was all Jags at that point. Then Henne comes in, he gets the touchdown before Mahomes goes back in, and that really felt like that saved the Chiefs in this game. So in my opinion, he is the hero of this game. Next up, we have Bengals Bills, 27-10 in favor of the Bengals in a game that Buffalo was favored by 6.5 points. What was crazy about this game was that you're in Buffalo and you're in the snow. Snow and cold weather, you think, would benefit, right? Would benefit the Buffalo Bills. But they looked completely lost this game, especially on defense. Joe Burrow had all day back there to throw. It was crazy to watch. The Bills defense just was not getting to Burrow at all. And even though, you look at the yardages here, especially with Josh Allen, having more yards than Burrow. But I don't think that tells the whole story, because Josh Allen was really having trouble finding the end zone this game. He kept overthrowing his receivers in the end zone, multiple times. He was overthrowing them. And Burrow just kept finding holes. Joe Mixon was just pounding the Bills' defense. And it was weird. I'm not usually one of those people that's like, this team wanted it more. I think it comes down to talent, most of the time, but this really did. It just felt like a game that, the Bills, on defense especially, but overall, were just, weirdly checked out of. I didn't really feel that much intensity from them. I don't think they got a first down until, the second quarter, I think is what it was. It took until the second quarter of this game for the Bills to get their first down, their very first down. Which is just crazy, because, the Bengals opened this thing up 14-0 in the first quarter with 2 really nice passing touchdowns to Jason Hurst, and the only touchdown for the Bills is a Josh Allen rush, a 1-yard QB sneak rush. And then afterwards he was getting into it with some Bengals players in the end zone, kind of trash talking them, and it's Josh, your team didn't even show up to this game. Why are you talking trash? But I predicted the Bengals to win this. I wanted the Bengals to win this, but the Bills kind of confused me here, because all season long they were one of the best teams. They kind of slipped a little bit there at the end, but I just don't really know what happened. Maybe going into next season, not having the expectations that they had of the season before will be good for them, but a lot of people had the Bills pegged as a Super Bowl appearance, and they did last year as well, obviously, but man, it's I don't know, Josh Allen was decent. Well, like I said, he kept overthrowing the end zone over and over, and it was just very frustrating to watch. But Joe Burrow, this game, he goes 23 for 36, 242 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Josh Allen goes 25 for 42, 265 yards. His only touchdown is a rush, and he has 1 interception. Yeah, I don't know, man. This was a weird game. Like, everything tells you the Bills should win this game. Home crowd, the weather suits them. They're a cold weather team. It's snowing, and they just looked completely outclassed from open to end of the game. Like, there wasn't a single quarter they looked like the better team, even when they outscored them in the second. It was just bizarre. Giants, Eagles. Now, unfortunately, I only got to watch about half of this game. I predicted the Eagles to win this one. I have a lot of Giants fans that watch me, so I was, for their sake, I was like, maybe the Giants winning here would be good, but Giants looked just completely overwhelmed. Like, the entire first half, they got shut out. They had 28-0 going into halftime, and the offense just looked lost, and it really felt like they didn't run the ball enough to. Like, Saquon only got 9 carries. You have your best offensive weapon, Saquon Barkley, and he gets 9 carries the entire game, only 61 yards, and they looked completely outclassed. Daniel Jones looked uncomfortable, which was, I know that the Eagles have a very good defense, but Daniel Jones just looked very uncomfortable the entire game. He could never really settle into emotion, and honestly, it kind of seemed like Jalen Hurts didn't really have to work that hard this game. Like, the Giants defense really didn't feel like they were forced to do, or not the Giants defense, the Giants defense didn't really seem to be doing that much to get to Hurts. And they were getting, like, very frustrated, like, visibly frustrated, the Giants defense. And now part of that problem is they were just on the field way too much. The offense was struggling to stay on the field. They only had 13 first downs, and they went 5 for 13 on third down conversions. So the Giants, their defense was on the field a lot. But, man, Jalen Hurts had all day to work. All day to work. The Eagles had over 11 minutes more possession than the Giants did this game. And the guy's looking at those stats, Daniel Jones being one of the best QBs in football these last few weeks, but this Eagles defense really was getting to him. He went 15 for 27, 135 yards. No touchdowns, 1 pick. Jalen Hurts goes 16 for 24, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, no picks. Although he also had a rushing touchdown as well. So 3 total touchdowns for Hurts. Yeah, I don't know. But I feel like kind of with the Jaguars, like similar. I have similar feelings on the Giants and Jaguars. Like, the season is still a win, regardless of this outcome. Nobody expected the Giants to get this far. At the beginning of the season, nobody had the Giants pegged to make the playoffs, right? And they got through a round, right? So this is still an achievement for the Giants. Kind of similarly to the Jaguars, I feel like they're 1, maybe 2 good off seasons away from taking that next step. I feel like I'm comfortable saying both the Giants and the Jaguars will make the playoffs next season. But, man, the Eagles are scary. I'll say that right now. The Eagles are scary. And they just have so much depth. Like, guys get tired, and the dude who comes on to replace him is like good enough to start on other teams. Like, Eagles just have so much depth, it's disgusting. And like I said, Hurts didn't even have to work that much. 268 rushing yards this game for the Eagles. Like, they were just pounding the Giants on the ground. And the Giants couldn't stop him. Yeah, there's kind of a visible, viral, hot mic moment. Giants player. Some people are tripping it to Kayvon Thibodeau, but I don't know. But you get a hot mic moment of him swearing, saying like, he's effing holding me. So like the defense is just getting, outwardly very frustrated. And once that starts happening, it's like you're falling apart. Finally, the one that I got wrong, Cowboys, Niners. Niners win this one 19-12. Honestly, in the first half, this game was close. Like, these teams looked like equals through the first two quarters. You go into halftime, it's 9-6, San Francisco. Dallas is down 3 because Mayer got his extra point blocked. But if you look at it, he would have missed anyway if he didn't get blocked. But, the Cowboys kept the Niners off the board as far as touchdowns go through the entire first half. And honestly, I think that they did the best job so far of containing Purdy in the playoffs. Purdy did not get any passing touchdowns this game. They also did the best job of containing Christian McCaffrey. Now, McCaffrey does get a rushing touchdown, but I think that the Cowboys held McCaffrey outside of that very first game McCaffrey had for the Niners, where he didn't really do that much. But beyond that first game, I think that the Cowboys defense held him to the fewest yards, both rushing and receiving, of any other game beyond that first one he played for the Niners. So their defense was shutting down Purdy. It was shutting down McCaffrey, which is about, all you need it to do. If you can shut down those two guys, you should be able to win the game, right? And honestly, the Cowboys were in position to win the game, but the problem was Dak Prescott. Also, I can't overstate how bad it is that Tony Pollard goes down injured in the first half, because it was only Zeke out there to run the ball, so he doesn't get a chance to rest. And Zeke, he got 10 carries for 26 yards. So he was also, that Niners defense is incredible, and it was keeping Zeke under control without Pollard out there to shoulder some of the load. But man, Dak Prescott, he looked so good last week. Last week, Dak Prescott and the Cowboys looked like world beaters. Now, I think it's possible they did regress a bit here, regression to the mean, but also that Tampa Bay defense was just atrocious. And, because like I said, you contain McCaffrey, you contain Purdy. Now, Kittle was, of course, doing his thing. He had a huge catch. I think towards the end of the game, he had that huge catch that basically sealed it for the Niners. That's the play of the game. But even if that still happens, if it's only Kittle making big plays and you're shutting down Purdy and McCaffrey, that should still be enough to win if your offense can just do what it needs to do. But Prescott had a terrible game, and his stats don't look that bad, except for the interceptions. But it was kind of the same thing, with Josh Allen. He overthrew the end zone a couple times. Although I will have to say he had this one pass where it was right into the receiver's breadbasket and he dropped it. That would have been a touchdown if he didn't drop it. And I think the Cowboys would have won if he didn't drop it. But still, Dak had to be better. And then everyone's talking about that last play. They should have gone for a Hail Mary there, but they didn't even have all their best players on the field. And he just threw it like, it kind of reminded me of the Kirk Cousins final pass last week. Just a short little pass down the middle. Clock's dead. Season on the line. And he throws a short little pass. They didn't even take a deep shot to the end zone. Now some people are saying that the way Dak started to rush forward afterwards, the plan was to set up like a hook and ladder play, but then like it just got blown up before they could do the hook and ladder hurdling. But I think you have to take a shot at the end zone there. It's a low percentage chance, but like you have to go for it. And for Dak to just make that short little pass, some people, like the Pat McAfee show, they're saying like it's the worst play in NFL history. I don't know if I'm going to go that far. I don't know if it's the worst play in NFL history, but given the context of the game, it's pretty bad. Dak Prescott went 23 for 37, 206 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. Brock Purdy goes 19 for 29, 214 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 picks. Like I said, they did the best job of anyone so far against Purdy, and CeeDee Lamb had some big plays this game, but yeah, the Niners just got it done when it mattered. And honestly, the Cowboys' defense was just run completely ragged in that second half. The Cowboys' defense could not get off the field in the second half of this game, and they started getting really tired. They were getting beat down by runs over and over and over, and you can say bend don't break, but you keep getting hammered inside, and your offense isn't out there long enough to give you a breather, and that's what happens. And the Niners capitalized on that, so Niners win that one 19-12, and they go on to face the Eagles. The Bengals go on to face the Chiefs. And like I said, I got 3 out of my 4 predictions correct. I go 75% this round. I knew that Cowboys prediction was going to go off, but I know if I picked the Niners, the Cowboys probably would have won this in some alternate reality. There's some other timeline where I picked the Niners and the Cowboys won, so take solace in that, Skip Bayless. I was considering doing the predictions in this video together because I fear that my predictions video is going to be way too short. Like, I don't know how I can. It'll be like 5 minutes, but I'm not going to mess with the formula. So, thank you guys so much for watching, supporting me up to this point. Let me know what you guys thought of the divisional round. It'll be interesting to see what the Cowboys do next year. Are they going to keep Dak? Are they going to blow it up? Are they going to fire everybody? It'll be interesting also to see what happens with the Bills. There'll be a lot of questions around the Bills, but I think, you know what? Jags fans, Giants fans, you have a lot to look forward to. And like I said, I think you guys are like 1, maybe 2 good off seasons away from being the next step forward. So let me know what you think. If you liked the video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day. Till next time, guys. Bye bye.